If you've been following the NEET paper leak controversy, you've probably heard of one name being discussed a lot this week, Professor V Kamakoti. He's the director of IIT Madras. He's just been appointed by the Modi government to help reform India's examination system. And almost immediately, politicians have begun questioning whether he's the right person for the job. Opposition leaders, including Priyanka Gandhi and Karti Chidambaram, have questioned whether Kamakoti is the right person to reform the NTA and the public examination system. But their criticism is not about his work on examinations. Instead, it's about remarks Kamakoti made last year about gaumutra, or cow urine. During a Lok Sabha debate on exam reforms, Priyanka Gandhi mocked him sarcastically, referring to Kamakoti as a gaumutra expert while questioning the credibility of the newly made task force. Karti Chidambaram also criticized Kamakoti on social media, saying that peddling pseudoscience is most unbecoming of the IIT Madras director. The controversy goes back to a remark Kamakoti made in January 2025. In a speech, he had recounted the story of a monk who recovered from a high fever after drinking cow urine. He said that cow urine could have antibacterial, antifungal, and digestive benefits, and added that the subject deserved more research. The remarks immediately triggered a backlash. Scientists accused him of giving legitimacy to unverified medical claims and promoting pseudoscience. Kamakoti later clarified that he had only narrated an anecdote and referred to existing published studies. He said that he had not claimed cow urine was a proven cure for diseases and that scientific research should continue on this topic. After Priyanka Gandhi's recent comments, she too has faced backlash from the scientific community in an open letter signed by over 200 academics. The letter reads, "To dismiss a scholar through a label rather than engage with the substance of his views risks undermining the very scientific temper that our Constitution calls upon every citizen to develop." But it's worth noting that despite the controversy, Kamakoti has never actually conducted research on cow urine at IIT Madras. His academic career has focused entirely on computer architecture, cybersecurity, VLSI design, and indigenous semiconductor development, including work on the Shakti processor. But who exactly is V Kamakoti, and why does he keep finding himself at the center of national debates? This time, the controversy began after the government formed a 6-member task force to look into the National Testing Agency after the 2026 NEET examination leaks and the following student protests across the country. The committee is headed by Infosys co-founder Nandan Nilekani, and it also includes former ISRO chairman S. Somanath and former Intelligence Bureau Director Tapan Deka. Yet, somehow, the person attracting the most attention is Kamakoti. As he's set to fix India's examination system, according to him, the biggest problem isn't even technology. India already uses optical scanners, image processing, and computer-based testing wherever possible. The challenge, he says, is scale. When he appeared for the IIT JEE in 1985, he claimed that there were far fewer students who took the exam. Today, that number has grown to nearly 1.5 million, but NEET has even more aspirants, nearly 2.2 million students. Running secure examinations for so many students is difficult, and Kamakoti argues that this year's leak didn't happen because the technology failed. It happened earlier in the exam process. So what is his biggest concern? Trusting people. He says cameras and artificial intelligence can monitor examination centers, but technology can't guarantee that the people setting and handling question papers remain honest. For a multilingual exam like NEET, dozens of people are involved in preparing and translating the paper. If even one person is compromised, he said, the entire system falls apart. And that's exactly what happened this year. But apart from the NEET controversy itself, Kamakoti's career tells a very different story. He's widely regarded as one of the people who built IIT Madras's semiconductor program from the ground up. His team developed the Shakti processor, India's first indigenous computer processor, which is now used in defense, government applications, and even research. Since he became IIT Madras's director in 2022, the institution has continued to top the National Institutional Ranking Framework rankings. It also became the first IIT to open an international campus in Zanzibar. Under his leadership, the institute has dramatically increased its patent output and is now planning a 1,000 crore fund to support startups. But the most surprising part of Kamakoti's story is that he's not your usual IITian. He actually failed the IIT JEE after class 12. Instead, he joined another engineering college before eventually returning to IIT Madras for his master's and PhD. Years later, he would become the chairman of the JEE itself. As he once wrote, His own journey proves that achievements aren't always determined by examination scores. His personal life is equally unusual. Growing up in rural Tamil Nadu, he loved cricket until a bouncer hit his glasses and his worried father threw away his bat. He learnt the violin as a child and even says he memorized difficult chemistry formulas by turning them into musical rhythms. During college, he also made a decision that would shape the rest of his life. Inspired by his spiritual guru, Kamakoti vowed never to leave India. Even today, despite leading one of India's premier institutions and opening its first overseas campus, he doesn't have a passport. Professionally, Kamakoti also made an unconventional choice. After his PhD, he had a lucrative industry job, earning nearly 2 lakh a month. Then, IIT Madras offered him an assistant professor position with a salary of just 21,000. He took the pay cut. Over the next 2 decades, he built a career in teaching, research, and administration, eventually becoming director of IIT Madras. Today, he's a member of the National Security Advisory Board and has previously chaired the government's Artificial Intelligence Task Force. Now, with India's examination system under intense scrutiny, Kamakoti faces perhaps his biggest public challenge yet. Supporters see him as a respected computer scientist with decades of experience in information security. Critics question whether his past public remarks reflect the scientific temperament expected of someone leading education reforms. Whether he succeeds or not, one thing is certain. For the third time in less than 2 years, V Kamakoti has become one of the most talked about academics in the country. Thanks for watching and follow for more.